everybody, it's Chris the Disney Baker, and welcome to the Pin Layer. Oh boy, did I have a busy week. Oh, let's see. How do I start this off? Well, we could start this off by showing you this. Ta-da. I went on my first cruise. Not only my first cruise, my first Disney cruise. And we went to Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. That was amazing. So, wow. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But one of the things I definitely want to talk about is friends. I made some new friends. So a little bit about the cruise. When you're on a Disney cruise, you have your own room. Of course, you have your own room, but you have a door. And one of the things that they do on Disney cruises is you decorate your door. You can order magnets off of Etsy. You can make your own magnets. You can have friends that make magnets for you, which we did. We had some friends that made us some amazing magnets. And the cool part is that people have made like little, like, I guess the best way to call it is like trinket bags. And they actually have, the ships actually have these little hooks that have like fish on them. And you hook, it's a hook made, looks like a fish. And it looks like it's pewter. And they just hook their little hanging bag on there. And people come by and they give you trinkets, if you will. Or they leave magnets on. Oh, I have a magnet in the other room I need to bring over and show you. Magnets on your door. And ours said something like, it was a thumbs up magnet. And it said, what a great door. So there's no contest or anything. It's just a whole bunch of stuff to have fun with. And I have some pictures if I can get them over from my phone. If not, I'll show them to you on my phone and just put them up like that so you can see. But let's back up and let's say hi to some friends. Isaiah, I'm glad you're here. Isaiah was definitely, Isaiah, we had a pin trading night, and I made up a UR code for my door. And I have, my goodness, I am not right. Here's my sailing Mickey shirt. Let me go grab my bag real quick. And sorry for this. And I'll bring it back in and I can show you some of the stuff that I had on my door. I'll be right back. And this is my Mickey Cruise captain shirt. Okay, I have my bag. So you can tell I'm excited because we had such a really good time. We left Port Canaveral and we went to the Bahamas, and well, I'll just get into everything in a minute. So this is the main thing I had on my door. And it's just like my name tag, but it's bigger. And I put magnets on the back of it. Find a flat place on my desk. And we ordered this from Etsy. And it says Fantasy and the Timko Family 2025. So that was a magnet. So we put that on our door. I'll talk about this in a second. And DVC, Disney Vacation Club, gave us ears to put on our door. And then this was our the Magic Feeling DVC magnet that they gave us with Dumbo. So we put that on our door, and that goes with something else that I got on this trip. And then our friends Josh and Amy made us a whole bunch of these Disney Fantasy. So this was for Pirate Night, which I'll show you some pictures from Pirate Night. This is the Disney Fantasy 2025. This was our first cruise. The light's a little strong there. There we go. Our first cruise. And all these magnets, I had all these decorated all over the door. And they made us these also. And it says subscribe. So if you took a picture of the UR code, and when we got service, if you didn't have internet service, when we got service, they made me this one too, because I look like the dad from Encanto. When you got service, you could actually go and subscribe. And I'll tell you what the story was with that. And I'm a Ravens fan, so they made us this one. And they made, of course, my button. So all these were on the door. Okay, and plus all these pirate magnets that I won't all pull all these out. All these pirate magnets for Pirate Night that my wife got. All right, so here was, and then this was the one that they gave us. Somebody come by and put, this door is liked by the Hunter family, Disney Fantasy. So the Hunter family gave us this, which I thought was very, very creative and cool. So, and what I was about to do is I was about to go in and say hello to everybody. So let's say hi to Isaiah. KDY, hello. Isaiah the Great, I love that. Hey, Jason, welcome in. Bethana, hello. Am I saying that right? Bethana, how are you? Hello, Gloria. Dole Whip Dave, welcome in. And there they are, our Ohana Journey. That was Josh and Amy. Still scrolling. Dole Whip Dave, hello, Dave. Movie Mania Nick, what's up, Nick? Good to see you. Hello, Paul Engel. Thanks for being here, one of my moderators. All right. All right, so here we'll just keep talking. We know Pete is live on his channel, and he'll be done shortly. And he's going to send some people over and say hello. So, hey, Isaiah, what's going on? I'm glad you're back. So we had this. This was my UR code, and it says scan me, the Disney Baker, youtube.com. So and then I had, which I don't have it in this room, but then I had instructions. So you had to go on to follow the UR code, go on to my channel, subscribe. Then if you met me on the ship, you had to find me on the ship. If you found me on the ship, I would have gave you a prize. And basically what that was a new pin on a backer card. I went through my collections of pins on backer cards, took a bunch of them with me. And if I saw you, then I would give you a new pin. Or you saw me, you found me, I'd give you a pin. And then you would come on tonight's stream. And then if you're on tonight's stream, we are going to put your name into the wheel, into the gift wheel. And at the end of the stream, as long as you subscribe, we were going to give away a free gift, which we are still going to. So make sure if you met me on the cruise ship, because we did have a pin collection day, and I met so many people. They came down, we traded so many pins, it was fantastic. And I met them down there. They took a picture of this, and they said they were going to come on tonight. So as long as you come on and say, hey, I met Disney Baker on the cruise ship, we'll put your name in on the gift wheel, and we'll spin it. Hello, Tony O'Tower. What's going on? So make sure, again, when you come in, you say, I traded pins with the Disney Baker. Then just make sure you do that. Okay. Hey, Stevie Lee, what's going on? So now that I caught my breath, so talking about the door, and then they would come by, and like I said, they would make these little baskets where people came by and they want to give you trinkets. Someone made these really, really nice chocolates, and that was our stateroom number 8162. And they just put that, they hung this on our door and gave this to us. It's white, that's white chocolate. So that was pretty cool. And someone right before Pirate Night, they gave us these 2 pirate braces and some pirate tattoos that they made up. I thought that was very creative, and that was really cool. So going back to, let's see if I can get a couple pictures in here, and I'll show you some pictures of. And I know I can add them here. I want to look here. I want to make sure. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Add that one. And I'm just going to do these like one at a time. And we'll talk about them that way, because that way it will be the easiest. Okay, so this one is me and Vanessa. That's my bride. And that was when we were getting onto the ship. And it's a pretty big ship. And it was a really nice day. Here is the Disney Fantasy. It was the ship we were on. I wanted to take that picture. And let's see. No, I'm jumping ahead too far. All right, so we can do that one. Oh, that one went wild. And then add overlay. I wonder if I can add multiples. I think I can. There we go. Let's try to do just 5 first. So the first place we went into, and I should have wrote it down. My wife just told me what it was. Let me ask her again. Hold on. Hopefully, I'll get to do this again. I won't forget these days. We went into Nassau, and that was pretty good. Oh, you're traveling. Okay, that's cool. Okay, we know you're there. We went into Nassau, and it was pretty neat. We actually walked. We got off the ship and we walked. And friends of ours wanted to take us. That we went with Josh and Amy. They wanted to take us to this really cool place, and it's called Rum Cake Factory. And this is on the Bahama Island. It's in Nassau, and the amount of rum cakes that they put out is phenomenal. And when I mean phenomenal, I mean they had them everywhere. I have a video of it that I'm going to put up later on my channel, but the official rum cake of the Bahamas. And when I say the official rum cake of the Bahamas, we went by 2 or 3 stores within, I say, a 5-block, 10-block walking distance of this actually the place, the factory where they make them, and they sold them. So they would buy them from them, and then they would resell them and of course, I guess, mark them up. And here's where the price is. Now, let me take this off for a second, and I'll show you. One of the rum cakes, the small rum cakes, is probably, I'm going to guess to say it's a 3-inch round rum cake, and it's a little bundt cake, just real small. It came in a nice little square box, and they had so many different varieties. One cake, but 6 ounces, was $7. Now, you would say, well, my gosh, that's a small cake. That's a lot of money. Import and export ingredients is really expensive. So that's how they did that. And the glare here is, it's 1 for $7, but 4 for $22.50. And that was a really good deal. The souvenir boxes, it was one for $19 and two for $36. And then the souvenir 6-pack was one for $37.50 and two for $75. So you could get 12 of them, 12 of the small ones for $75. So, and the varieties and the quality of these cakes, they had samples set, they had 2 or 3 different flavors set out for you to try, and they were delicious. I don't, you know, hey Pete, what's going on? Welcome in. So I got, we were in there for quite a bit. I was watching the operation being, hey Jonathan, hello, welcome in. Jonathan's one of our moderators. I like to watch and see how things are being prepared. Being a baker, the place was spotless, and I mean I always look at things like that, and the bakery was absolutely spotless. Everyone was wearing a hairnet. They were wearing gloves, top to bottom. Just an A+ operation, I thought. And there you go. And Amy is saying, one of 2 reasons why they only get off the ship at Nassau. And I would agree. We walked. I don't know how far it was, but it was a nice walk. It was a nice day. Good company. We had a nice walk. But knowing me, if you know me, if you follow me, I like to talk to people, and I wanted to talk to the owner. And we were there for about 5-10 minutes, and we were about to leave, and I was still getting some video footage. And I asked the girl, I said, is there any way I could, is the owner here? And she said, actually, he is in the back. And I said, well, I said, my name's Chris. I have a YouTube channel. She said, oh, well, he'd like to talk to you. So, any type of, free business out there, advertisement's good. So he came out and we talked, and actually they just built a new bakery, just for baking purposes only. And it's here in Florida. It's in Sanford, Florida. He actually comes in like once or twice a week, comes into the States. He goes to check up on the bakery in Sanford. He said then him and his wife spend some time in Disney sometimes. When he comes in, he's gonna look me up. I'm gonna email him. We're gonna WhatsApp each other back and forth, talk to each other, get together. If I could get a tour of this plant, I think that would be fantastic. And the reason he's doing that is to import all the goods that he needs, not just flour and sugar. I mean, packaging and labeling and everything like that. He imports that, and then he has to go turn around, make it, bake it, package it, and then export it. Those costs are pretty expensive. So what he's doing, he's going to be doing a lot of that here in the States, in Sanford, his bakery in Sanford. So I'm excited for him making that step. I'm excited to possibly go and see this bakery and be able to video it and make a tour video of it and then show you all. I think that would be fantastic. And then hopefully he can become one of my sponsors of my channel. And I would love that. So that was a great thing that we did. A couple of the other great things that we did. Oh my gosh. There's so much to do on ship. If you're bored on any of these ships, shopping, you want to go shopping, there are stores galore. Did I take a picture of every store? No. This was as I said at the beginning, this was our very first cruise, and it was our anniversary cruise. So I made the promise to my wife it just wouldn't all be about, me doing things for YouTube. It was me doing things for us and things doing together. And we did. We had a great time. And I just took some pictures, and I'll show you some. But the videos and all that I took, I'll edit those and put some of those up later. But it was if you can watch videos of these ships, and we were on the Fantasy, they are what you see in the commercials. They are just streamlined from one end to the other. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. From chandeliers to carpets to Mickeys to stars in the carpet that face the front of the ship. So if you're looking down at the carpet and have all these cool stars, the point of the main star points to the front of the ship. So if you get lost in the ship and you're going the wrong way, you can just look down at the stars and they point you in the right direction to go. It was unbelievably, I would say, magical. While we were there, after we were walking back from the rum cake factory, I saw this picture. I thought that was funny. I said, let me take a picture of that. And when we were on top of the ship, we saw this big pirate ship coming in. And that was cool. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. An error occurred. Wait a moment while we try again. All right. So that didn't work. Let's see if I can add some more. Let's try to add these. I think I tried to add too many at one time, and the computer didn't like it. So what the waiter staff and your room staff do is when they make your room every day and they bring you fresh towels and things like that, and they straighten up your room, they make little towel figurines. We thought, and this one was out on the deck, right by the pool, and we thought the one on the right may be the angry guy, the flame guy. Oh, I can't remember the name. Um, oh, gosh, what is that? What's that movie? He's all red. I remember. Were you able to complete the set? Oh, oh, oh! These guys are talking back and forth because. Okay, who came? Okay, some other people came in then. Hey, Theo. Jarena J, what's going? Jarena Joy, hello. There she is. Okay, great. Um, yeah, everybody was trading pins, and then there's Wally. He's there, so that was pretty cool. So they made towel characters for you. This is actually a chair of the theater, of the movie theater. They have a movie theater, and I thought it was pretty cool because if you did a close up, they're all hidden Mickeys. And then if you look down at the carpet, there were Mickeys in the carpet. When we ate at the Royal Court, this was our table number for every dinner, and every dinner had a different theme. Of course, this is Ariel. This was pretty cool. And let me add some more here. That's cool. There's Ariel. Let's add 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So your waiter that waits for you, he's with you. Your waiter when you go to your first dining. So your first dining, all your dinners are included. Okay, unless you want a special brunch like at Palo, and we did that, or a special brunch at, is it called Figment? Amy, I don't remember. I'll have to ask Amy what the other restaurant was that's connected to Anger. Thank you, Hunter Acrewood. Welcome in, Hunter Acrewood. Baymax. Oh, Baymax. I don't think Baymax was angry. From the Lava movie. I can't remember. I'm going back from page to page here. Remy? Yeah, Remy. That's it. Looks fun. Oh, it is. It's a lot of fun, Pete. There's no doubt. Remy is another restaurant across from Palo. And these are, you have to dress up a little bit more than just a t-shirt and shorts. They ask you to. So, and it was nice. And then you pay extra for that. So we went for a brunch and had an amazing time. And there's always a rule to every restaurant you go to. There's always one rule. And it's the same rule at every one. There's no rules. So when they give you the menu, and you say they have seared shrimp, and seared shrimp with scallops. Okay, and then they have prime rib, and then they'll have what was that? Oh, pork shank, and they'll have seared pork chops or something like that. If you want two of the main dishes, you order two of the main dishes. If you want two of the appetizers, you can order two of the appetizers. If you want four desserts and you want to try each of the desserts, you can get one of each dessert. Try it all. You can eat as much as you like until you can't eat anymore. And I did. I ate. I ate a lot. There's no doubt. When does the live stream end? Because I have to go to dinner at 8. Oh my goodness. You know what? Jarena Joy, what we'll do is you guys don't, if you have to bounce, I get it. Don't sweat it. Go ahead and go. Send me a Instagram. Yeah, I would do that. Send me an Instagram, the Disney Baker, and ask me or say hello. Yeah, do that. If you do Instagram, say hello, send me an Instagram, and I'll let you know. And we can keep in touch that way too. So that'll hopefully fix that. Okay, so back to media. I got up the first night we went out. When we left, we left that night. We left that day. I got up the next morning, and I think it was level 4. Level 4 on the ship is basically a track, and you can go around the whole ship. And you go around 2.25 times, and it's 1 mile. And I did it 18 times, fast-paced walking. And these are some of the pictures that I took as the sun was rising. It was absolutely gorgeous. And you can see a ship out there. There's another ship, probably a Disney ship. And they were just beautiful. And these pictures don't give the sunrise enough credit. They do. Actually, Julia, they do. Disney ships do not have casinos, but they do have a refrigerator in your room. That's a good question. Because I like keeping, especially my cup of water in the fridge overnight, keeping it cold to take my medicine in the morning. And this was one of the pillars, if you will, in Royal Court. And that's, of course, Cinderella's coach. And this whole room was absolutely just stunning. And going back to your waiter, so once you meet your waiter your first night, that's going to be your waiter for those restaurants the rest of your trip. The waiter and the server are your waiter and server for every single restaurant you go to that night and have breakfast and or have dinner there with you. And they move from Royal Court to Animator's Palette, and so forth. They move around with you. So, and then what I was talking about is your the staff that come and they take care of your room, and they give you fresh towels, and they straighten your room, and they vacuum and do whatever, and they make wonderful things like this. These were the pillowcases were given to my wife from a friend. We left them on the bed the first night, just unpacked the suitcase, and the room employee, she put them on the pillows for us, and then she made this for me. The dark piece is a blanket, is a pullover blanket, and then she made a big heart out of the pullover blanket. And then she made these swans. The swan on the right is the female swan, and the swan on the left is a male swan. And there were fresh rose petals put on our bed for that. And then the chocolates. So that was very cool. Let's see this. Okay, let's take a couple of these. All right, we'll open these up as one comes open. And that was really cool. And not only did they straighten the room, like if you have a tendency sometimes maybe just to throw your shirt on the back of the sofa or on the chair, or you leave your shoes in the middle of the floor, you'll come back, your shoes will be over by the desk neatly. They'll fold your shirt up and set it up on the coffee table that's there. I mean, it's very nice. This is looking into what we got. We went to Disney's newest island. They have their own new island, and it's called Lookout Cay. And this was coming into port. We saw this. Oh, sorry. Yes, I was on the Disney Fantasy. Sorry. Thank you. And this was one of the pictures. So this is their island. To the right and to the left of this island, it's Disney only owns a portion of the island. All the way to the left of this island, and it goes farther. There are people that live on the island. There's locals that live there. And then there's a bridge way far down here to the left that they can get to another part of the mainland. I forget what it's called. But coming in, here is actually where we were coming in. The ship hadn't tied up yet. We were coming in, and this is their dock. And this dock is so long. And I got up early to get this shot, and they shoot the lines, this pillar here, this concrete slab here, they shoot the ship lines out. And then there are cast members here that tie the ship up as it's coming in. This bridge here that you see is the footbridge. And the reason I call it a footbridge is because this is what you walk. You walk this bridge all the way over to Lookout Cay. And when you come into Lookout Cay, this is what you go through. You go through the entry. And this is Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. And this is us on a tram. And they take you from the walk bridge. Then you get on a tram. And then the tram takes you all the way to where the beach is. And that's a closer picture of the water, how clear it was. So by the time you get done walking this, you definitely want this. It was a nice break. So let me pull up a couple more pictures. And for some reason, I couldn't pull all my pictures. I couldn't pull my pictures over from my Droid. Let's see. And then we'll talk about some other things, and then we'll get into our drawing. So this is me and my wife, Vanessa, and that's the beach behind us. And the sand is actually pink. You say, well, how do you get pink sand? Well, you get pink sand from if you ever looked at a seashell, on the inside of the seashell, it's got like a rainbow color to it with all the texture. It's those pieces of the seashells that have been broken over the years from where these waters come up, and these little microscopic little pieces of seashells that have been broken make the sand look pink when you look really close. And we were up on these chase lounges here, and then you see this rooftop. Here is one of the restaurant areas where you can go up and get yourself a beverage, get a hamburger, and something. They served us lunch on this island. But as I'm about to show you, this is part of the island here to the right, but back in the distance were rain clouds. And those are the rain clouds. So we had to make our beach trip a little bit short because the rains and the winds did come in. So we were there for about 2.5 hours, I guess, maybe 3. But we definitely hightailed it out of there when this storm came in. And we got back on ship. So when we went back up on ship, that was the night for the pirate party. And pirate party it was. We had a phenomenal time on the pirate party. Let's see, that one didn't come across. Let's go from here to here. So they gave you bandanas. Everybody in the room got 2 bandanas, pirate bandanas. So I'm going to show you one of my wife's, this was my dessert. This is a limoncello dessert. That was my dessert. That was fantastic. I didn't take a picture. I'm not one to take a picture of a bunch of foods and eat them. I'll talk about foods and I'll show someone else's picture and then talk about that dessert, but I'm not one to do a lot of that. So we got to meet a couple characters, and let me see if I can pull a couple of these back up. 1 second. Let's do that. And while some of these are downloading, I'll show you some of these. So this was on the main floor, the third deck, and this is Minnie Mouse, and she's dressed all dapper. And Vanessa and I are there. And then let's see. I want to put the others in first so you all can see them. Nope. Okay, shift up. I'm sorry, I just want to get these pictures loaded so I can go from one to the other. A couple more to add. Nope, I guess it's in there. All right, well, we'll go from here. So here's the pirate party, and that's me and Captain Jack. Can you tell which one is which? Monarch Miracles, welcome in. How are you? I'm the one on the left, and that's Jack on the right. So we waited in line for Jack. And the funny part is that Jack was there 2 different times, before our dinner and after our dinner. So we went before, and the line literally went all the way around one of the shops and came back to the beginning. And as we were walking away, he yelled he goes, Dad, is that you? So that was funny. Here's us at dinner, me and Vanessa. And what they did is, this picture here is the same picture as they have on Pirates of the Caribbean Ride, where Jack is sitting at the end. So I sat there, and Giselle is my wife. Actually, her name's Vanessa, but she plays Giselle. And she stood next to me. And these are really cool shots. Now, this picture here, this picture is a different chair. So if you were to look at this chair and then look at this chair, the coloring is different of the padding. This chair is in front of a mosaic of Cinderella's castle, and it's right next to guest services. So there was a photographer there, and if you were dressed, I guess, as a prince or a princess, he'll take your picture. But I said, can I sit and have a picture? And he said, sure. So he took our picture, and as he was taking our picture, this family was standing next to Vanessa's left. And when he was done taking our picture, they walked up. As Vanessa walked forward, they looked at us and said, can we have a picture? And I looked at the photographer, and he said, sure. So they got on both sides of me and took a picture. and he took maybe 2 or 3 shots for them. And then a line literally formed of families that were wanted to take pictures with me. And I stood up and I said, I just told him, I said, I'm going to walk away. And he said, okay. So we just walked away and they followed us. They followed us to the main room. And as we were standing waiting to get in line to take pictures with Mickey and Minnie, which I wish I could find them. They might be one of these. Mickey and Minnie, we got pictures taken with them. And then while we were waiting, they asked if they could walk up and take pictures. I said, sure. So we just took pictures. And that was pretty humbling, but it was a lot of fun. This is we were in, where were we here? Animators. Yeah, this is Animators. This is the Animators restaurant. And that was our number 51 for our table marking. And then this was our roll plate. And it has a butter knife shaped like a paintbrush. And you could purchase one of those. I think they were $30. The butter knife was $30 a piece. This was one of the pictures that we caught coming out. This was a sunset picture coming out of dinner one night. And this was another picture that we were walking to dinner one night. And this is one of the portals in the side of the ship. And they have padding at the bottom. You want to sit on them and take a picture. And this was another swan. I think I said dove earlier, but these are swans. The swan that she made for us. Okay, so let's get to this picture first. Let me find the first one. So here's the first one. This is the beginning of when they greet you when you first come in. And I just want to give you an idea of how many people are on this deck. And this is the send-off party. And they have people that are sitting down here, people that are underneath this overhead, and then people are on this deck. And it's all the way around the ship. And it is a lot of people. So those commercials that they show you on TV where there's only like a dozen people, no, there's as many people as they can fit in there. They fit them in there. This is one of the pictures of the send-off party where all the characters come out and they're waving their little things. I took snapshots of that. And here's Vanessa and I at the Royal Court for dinner one night. And this is us on the island on Lookout Cay. We got our picture taken once we got there after that nice walk on the walk bridge. And there's Jiminy again. I can't find let me find my picture of Mickey and Minnie. I know it's in here. Oh, there it is. How did I miss that one? Okay. Last 2 pictures I'm going to show, and then we'll get to talking and we'll do pins. Okay, so we waited in line. Actually, we waited in line for Minnie first. She was first. And then Vanessa went up to save us a spot for the castaway party. So that's Vanessa and Minnie and myself, Captain Jack. And then there's Captain Mickey and Captain Jack. So now there's me. So that was in a nutshell. So hopefully you guys like that. Ryan, it's definitely a vacation you want to save for. There's no doubt. We were supposed to do it. This was year 38 for us. So we were supposed to do it for our 35th anniversary, but we didn't. Because of COVID. So we had saved the money. We had saved the money prior to that. So we just kept saving it, and we went ahead and did it. It was very nice. It was a fun time to have. I would suggest if you can ever do it once and have the opportunity, I would do it. It was a good time. It was a fun time. So Yes, actually, Julio. Yes. We've been talking. You saw Pete McDevitt was in earlier, and there's a couple other YouTube streamers that we live here in Florida, and we know each other. We're thinking about getting a group of us together and going to Disneyland to celebrate the 70th anniversary. Yes, so we definitely want to do that. Yes, Dave. As a matter of fact, yes. We were talking to a friend yesterday after we had gotten back, and we were talking, would we do other cruises? And he does. And I know I. Let me see if I know I have the picture. He does. I think if I see if I downloaded the picture of his ship. I think I left it on my phone. I did. I left it on my other phone. But he does OCI or OMI cruises. Hey, Jay Sanudo, what's going on? Welcome in. Um, like your button there, Jay. Just the letter J. I would definitely consider checking out another cruise. Oh, Tony, you were here for the 50th. So was I. I was working in the Emporium on Main Street at Magic Kingdom. I was there for almost 3.5 years. Now I'm at the Contemporary, and I'm a baker pastry chef at the Contemporary. So I am a cast member. So, um, so, so let's go. Let's talk about pins real quick. We did some amazing trading. I purchased some pins. One of the first pins. The first pin that I got was actually we stayed at the Island Towers at the Polynesian. So I purchased this pin. I got something on the center of it. Nope, it's just really shiny. So that was the pin I got there. And then when we got on the Fantasy, that was what we were standing next to. Vanessa and I and took the picture. That's the Fantasy. And then when we went on to Lookout K, that's the pin we got for Lookout K. And then, of course, you have to get Minnie as Captain Minnie. And these are exclusive just to ship. You can't buy these pins off ship. They only on the ships. And there's Captain Mickey. And of course, I have my Captain Mickey ringer shirt, which I will tie dye. Now, we were trading on ship, and we made a couple trades at the park too. But Isaiah, he's been quiet, and hopefully he's still there. So I met Isaiah and his dad, and we traded on the ship. And one of the pins that we traded for, he traded me for a big pin. And if I'm not mistaken, Isaiah traded me this pin. So this was a Disney Cruise Line pin, and it has Dumbo down at the bottom, Disney Cruise Line, and it's pretty cool. And it comes with a patch, a stick patch. I think you can stick it onto something, but then you can also stitch it on. But I'll definitely stitch it on to my jean jacket. So those for those pins. And then they give you a card. They give you a room card. And here's the picture of the room cards. And that's your room cards. That's your access in and out of your room, off and on board ship, which is very important. You have to keep this with you at all times, especially if you have to get off ship. This is your ID to get back on ship. We did collect more pins for the 25th anniversary of pin trading. That was a lot of fun. I only have, I believe, 6 more pins to get. So Pete, if you're still here, and I think Pete was getting ready to do one of his other streams, is that his credit card number? No, it's not. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Um, we traded some pins. There was a collectible set out there that Amy and Josh collected, and they got all of these. I think it was a different set, but these were a set. And this one is going to go to my friend Gonzo, because if you were with us the other night, Gonzo was live with us. So I'm going to give him that one because Goofy is his jam. I traded for this one. This is pretty cool. Let's see what else. Oh, I traded Stitch. Hello, Jeff. Welcome in. We're looking over some of the pins that I traded while I was on the Disney Fantasy ship. My first cruise. It's an Epcot pin. I'll do these pretty fast. Did I show this one last week? No. And I got this one. Miss Piggy carved into a pumpkin of Kermit. Some of the 2025 pins. I got Pluto. I got Minnie. I got Mickey. I got Donald. I think there was maybe 2 more in that set. I picked up a Baker Mickey. Look at that. I picked up a Baker Mickey. Love that one. I picked up this amazing Pinocchio. And Pinocchio. And oh, I know her name. Oh, the fish's name is... Oh, and this Stitch. Golden Baker Mickey. Chloe. Thank you, 100 Acre Wood. Chloe. I like Stitch too. I've been collecting Stitches also. And this is a new set of Mickeys going out. So he's on roller skates. You guys like the new Mickey, animated Mickey? I'm 50-50 about it. And here's another Stitch. He's got suspenders on, red, white, and blue suspenders with star shorts. And then I did pick up this one. And I have my magnifying glass here. And this is from the grand opening of Disney. And this was Disney in Shanghai. This is a castle pin of Mickey and Minnie. New Mickey is too skinny. I agree, 100 Acre Wood. I agree. The shorts are entertaining. I can't get Vanessa to watch the shorts, Jay. She just can't get over the animation. She does not like the animation. Whoa, that would be good, Ryan. Make a new animated Oswald. I would like that. So then they have these Dapper Day pins. Like I collected Mickey. I collected Goofy. I think I collected all these from one person. No, I didn't. I got one of these from Amy. And there's Dale and Chip. And I should know the name of this guy, but I don't. This is I traded for this. This is one of the 50th anniversary pins. I don't know his name either. That Dapper Goofy is good. I didn't show that Dapper Goofy to you know who, Katie. Because Gonzo would want it. I did say his name. All right, so this is this pin is from Pandora. And it's a dangle. Oh, it's sliding. This is a dangle Pandora pin. And this is old. This is maybe from the opening of Pandora. I'll do some research. Yeah, 2017. I think that was the opening of Pandora. Because Pandora at first Pandora didn't trade pins. But now they do. Yeah, I know he would. Not going to show him. And I picked up this lightning bolt from Hercules. I thought that was pretty shiny. And then last but not least, I traded for this really nice pin trading pin. And it's pretty cool. It's same as the sign on the pin trading pin at Disney Springs. But I've never seen one bronze like that before. So I thought that was pretty cool and picked that up. So I think I went through everything. Oh, and DVC gave us hats. So I got a new hat. And we had trading and we had fun and we sat in the sun and we had ice cream, as much soft serve ice cream. You go up to the machine yourself if you can go get a cup, put all your ice cream in a cup. They have cones. You can make your own cones and then you can go and eat it and you come back and you make another cone and you go over there and eat it and come back and make another cone. You get soft serve ice cream all day long. There's a soda coffee station, 24 hours a day. You get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, want something to drink, you go down, get yourself a soda, go back up to your room. You can walk the deck. You're allowed on any of the decks anytime you want. They say sometimes if you're on a deck early in the morning, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes you'll see a character out just walking the deck. Like I said, I believe it was deck 3 or deck 1, 2, 3, 4. It was deck 4 that you can go all the way around the ship. So, wow. Oh, and I traded for this one, and this one goes to my buddy Paul Engel. I traded for that one too. So when I see Paul, and I'll see Paul, yep, shortly. But that's it. So Chris must have taken notes. Such detail. Oh, not so much. Not so much notes, Theo. It's a lot to take in. There's a lot to do. There's karaoke. Oh, I forgot about that. There was karaoke we went to. We went to trivia. We went to family. It was a family trivia game. How well do you know your parents versus kids? That was fun. They had bingo. Oh my gosh, they had bingo and bingo on iPads. That was really cool. You bought so many games, 24 games or 48 games. And they're on an iPad. So when they pick a number, your cards were just on this iPad, and it would automatically digitally refresh the page to show you if they were doing an X. It would show you where you were, and it would bring the one card up out of 6 that had your best chances. And it was really cool. We played bingo. That was fun. Shows. Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about the shows. Oh my gosh, what time is it? 8:30. Let's talk about the shows. Aladdin, Frozen, Believe. Okay, were these 3 shows. Where's my bucket? Where's my bucket? I gotta show you my bucket. Hold on. Hang right there. I want to show you my popcorn bucket. And then I'll tell you how I got it. It's got to be in the studio. Because I showed it the other night. So it should be in here. There it is. It was literally on the floor. Okay, so They have popcorn buckets just like they do at the parks. And if you came in late, here's my Captain Mickey shirt. So we went and saw Aladdin was the first show, the first night, and it's first come first serve. It's free, and Peter was our entertainment captain, and he came on stage and he was telling us about the show, and they told us about one of the actors in the show. One of the actors of the show was one of the original actors from Aladdin on Broadway, but he wouldn't tell us who, so we had to guess. So I guessed Aladdin. I was wrong, and I forget who Josh and Amy guessed, but it was Jafar. And boy, was he a good Jafar. And what if you do a cruise, make sure you get to the shows. I reached out to one of my friends, Ron from Ron on the Go, and I said, Ron, I said, if you could pick, one main thing on a ship, because he cruises a lot, I said, what would you, for a new person, what would you do? Yes, they're free, Jay. And he said, no, it wasn't Genie. It was Jafar. It was Jafar. And because I was talking, because I'm sorry, I'm talking to our Ohana Journey, Amy and Josh. So when the show was over, we went to the top of the steps. Peter, the entertainment captain, was standing there, and we were talking to him, and I asked him, was it Aladdin? He said no. And then Vanessa said, was it somebody? He said no. Genie, no. And then he said, was it? And then he said it was Jafar. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But so as we were leaving, I looked down and I saw this. And everybody knows what these are. These are Frisbees. No, these are popcorn lids, which you find everywhere. But you never find these. You only find these. So we found one. Well, we didn't find one of these. Josh says, hey, Baker, there's a popcorn bucket. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I found the lid, and Josh found the bucket. And the bucket's really, really cool because it has all the ships on it. The Dream, the Wish, the Treasure, the Magic, the Fantasy, and what's that one over there? I can't see. And the Wonder. Yep. So I got myself a popcorn bucket, and then the next night we went and saw Frozen. Oh, I didn't know they could outdo. I know it was Jafar. You said. Oh, so hold on. I know. There we go. I know it was Jafar. You said you didn't know who guessed. Oh, we guessed Genie, and we were wrong also. Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay, great. Gotcha. Yeah, that's how good these actors were. I mean, even Jasmine. I mean, she belted out some songs. It was phenomenal. So the next night, I think Amy and Josh, they had plans to go do something, so we wanted to go see Frozen. We had already seen Frozen on Broadway, so we were pretty much, after we saw Aladdin, we were pretty much expecting to see Broadway style show. Oh, it was. It sure was. But I stopped in the concessions first. I stopped in concessions and got this. So, and that was cool. And I asked him, I said, do you have to put the popcorn in this, or can you just put it in a cup? And then I had this. He filled this with popcorn, so this wouldn't have any popcorn in it because I didn't want to get it dirty. But this is pretty cool. It's psychedelic. I love this. So I'll add this to my collection over there of popcorn bucket ears. But that was really cool. Getting back to Frozen. Wow. A phenomenal show. I mean, I thought Aladdin was great because they literally made the carpet fly on stage, and they had fog come out, and literally fog went 3 people deep. We were about 5-6 rows back for Aladdin. We were 3 rows back for Frozen, and Frozen was just fantastic. And then the last night we saw Believe, and Believe is a story of a a father, and he's raising his daughter, and it's her birthday. But he's produced this this flower um, that it blooms beautiful, and this if I want to say horticulturalist, his specialty is that, and that's all he thinks about. And for her birthday, he got her a box of magician stuff. He got her a sorcerer hat and a wand, and she was all excited, but he didn't believe in magic. And his thoughts were all about him getting this flower ready for this company to come and do a news article on him, and he's going to be in a journal, and that was everything he was about. And he wasn't focused on celebrating with his daughter for her birthday. And then he found a watering can, and that's pretty much all I'm going to tell you. And then the watering can helped him understand what magic was. And then we saw Frozen on our second. It was good, but not as good as Aladdin. And I agree. I'd agree to that, Amy. Yep. I think Believe was the best. We got to see so many characters from so many different Disney movies. It was fantastic with Baloo, Genie, characters from the princesses, and characters from Lion King. I mean, it was just great. Princess and the Frog, Tiana, that whole group from Tiana's was just fantastic. The singing and the acting and the jumping and flipping and just fantastic. It was great. So that would be something I would say, don't ever not go if you can. Go to every single show. But I just want to share that with you. And let me go into my comments here. Okay, Katie. How many do we have, Katie? So if you came in later, so what we did is we did a thing on Ship, where if you subscribe to the channel and you found me on Ship, I would give you a treasure, and that treasure was actually a new pin on a card. And then if they came in tonight, we would put their name in a giveaway wheel, and then we would give away a grand prize for the giveaway wheel. But they would have to be subscribed. And all right, I'm looking in private chat. And then Katie is... I'm looking over here. Let me make this bigger. Participants. Huh. Isaiah was our only. Isaiah was our only. Okay. So Isaiah was the only person that came on. And that we traded pins down where all the shops were. And Isaiah came down with his dad and traded pins with us. And then he went in and subscribed. And he was in earlier today. And he probably had to go. He's on vacation in Disney right now. They went from the ship to check the banner. Yep. Thank you, Katie. So that was that. So that was fantastic. We had a really good time. What I think made, and she may not know I was going to say this, but I'm going to say it. And I think what really made our trip so special is we went with friends. We went with friends, but we went with friends that have been on cruises before, Disney cruises before. So they knew a lot about Disney cruises. So it was special to us just going with friends, but it was also special with us going with friends um, who liked to have just as much as excitement in in cruising as we did. I mean, we didn't know what it was going to be until they showed us, hey, we can go do this, hey, we can go do that. So we had a really good time doing that. So we're appreciative of that. So if you ever have an opportunity to go on a cruise with someone that's cruised before, I would do that. Definitely do that. And YouTube's huge. I mean, look at YouTube cruise channels, Disney cruise channels, and watch some videos of those people, because they can fill you in on a lot of stuff that you might miss. There's a glass chandelier. Every floor on the ship, when you go up and down the elevators, the doors are all etched differently for every different floor on the ship. Yes, definitely show you the ropes getting around and showing you the ropes how to climb back up on a ship if you fall off. Definitely. I see you, Amy. Um, Decks. Yeah, they call them decks. Um, oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. So if you didn't see this, I forgot about that. So, oh, you talked to him again. Wow, that's so cool. So what Amy just says was they talked to Genie again. So the next day after we saw Aladdin, we were waiting in a DVC lounge area, what we thought was a DV lounge area, but it wasn't. But we were waiting there anyway, and they were up on deck 4. They had pictures inside the ship, and they had a beautiful place to stand. And they take characters downstairs, characters upstairs. It's great. There's usually 4 or 5 characters everywhere on deck 3 or 4 that get in line, take your picture with a character. And I think it was Pluto it was either Pluto or Minnie was on deck 4, and that's where we were waiting. And there was a cast member just guiding the guests. Have your autograph books out. If you want an autograph, have your own phones out if you want your phone, your own phone used, or you can use the Disney photographer. And we're just sitting there, and Josh goes, "That sounds like Genie." And we're like, "What?" He goes, "The voice of that guy, it sounds like Genie." And we're like, "No, no, it doesn't." So we start listening. I'm like, "No, it doesn't. Doesn't sound like Genie." He's like, "No, that's Genie." He goes, "Listen to him." And then we start listening to him. And the way he is talking with his dialect, we're like, no, could that be him? Could one of the actors be just a cast member? And he was in like a captain's suit just guiding people. And they're like, "Go ask him, Baker." I said, "I will. I'll go ask him." So I walked up to him and I said, "Excuse me." And he goes, "Yes, how can I help you?" I said, "Could I have 3 wishes?" And he goes, "No, you may not have 3 wishes." And he had this big smile on his face. I said, "Are you Genie?" He said, "Yes, I am." And I was like, and I turned around and Amy and Josh are there and Vanessa's there. And we're like, "You're right, Josh." Is like, Amy said, "Oh, you did such a great job." And he did. He did a phenomenal job. It was fantastic. It was great. But then to see him through in the ship, I mean, you see cast members doing different roles throughout the ship all the time. They'll be doing trivia one day and then bingo the next day, or presenting a movie the next day, or, guiding you to your seats for the plays at night. Multiple roles, multiple roles. But then again, they just said that they saw him again after that show that night. They saw him again, so that's pretty good. They talked to him again. That's great. But people are just super, super nice, and I know being a cast member, one of our things that we want to do, we want to take your level from here to here, and that's our job all the time. They do it just 100%. They do it fantastic, and they enjoy it. You can see it in their faces. They're smiling. We met this girl Nessa. in one of the stores, um, and it's Nessa, and I said, "Well, my wife's name is Vanessa," and she goes, "Yeah." She says, "Yes." I said, "Is your name Vanessa?" She goes, "No, my name's Nessa." I said, "Well, we call her Nessa," and then I introduced my wife to her, and then like the next day we went to get something, and she was there, and she goes, "I remember." I said, "Oh, Nessa," and then when I dressed up as Captain Jack, I had to find her. So I went and I found her that night, and I just looked at her and I said, "Nessa," and then she says, "Oh my goodness," she said, "You look good." So it's just that type of it's just that type of excitement and fun. So if you look in the mirror and you're a Disney kid, when you get on ship, you'll definitely be a Disney kid on ship, just like you are in the parks. Um, oh, no kidding! Wow. Now, see, Jasmine, I think I would recognize. I don't think I would recognize Aladdin, um, because the Aladdin in Believe wasn't the same Aladdin. Was the Aladdin in Believe the same Aladdin in Aladdin? I don't think so. He didn't look the same. No, I don't think it was. But that's cool that you got to see them. That's neat. So, yeah. If you have any questions, you want to ask them in the comments. Do me a favor. Like I always say, share us out, like us, subscribe us, leave comments, check out my shorts. And my shorts, what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start both. Both was on Believe. Yes. Okay. Check out my shorts. I'm going to start connecting links to some of my videos from my shorts. So please give me some watch time. We're going to get our watch time up. That's one of the little things that I'll be doing here in the future is clicking some links to some of my videos from some of my shorts. And we were just, we had a really good time. So we have a gift that's Isaiah, we're going to figure out how we can get in touch with you. If you're still here or his mom's here, have him reach out to me. And not in the comments, but my email is there on my page. And also you can reach me from Instagram. Do that there. And I will definitely get that gift out to you because I still think Isaiah was the only one. Yep. So that was cool. So, yeah, we're trying to get my hours up. We'll see what happens. It'll happen. We're slowly climbing that bridge. That's got to go up. We are on the pathway to up. That's for sure. So thank you guys for coming. Anybody have any questions about cruises? I mean, I can answer as much as I can. You have an answer? Let me know. I mean, a question? I have any answers. Okay, great. Thanks, Katie. All right, well, here we go. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I believe Pete will be live tonight with Insomaniacs. How many kids were on the cruise? Good question, Dave. A lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. A lot, so much to where I think every day we had a conversation that Disney, if you're listening, which you probably wouldn't be listening to this little channel, you got enough cruise ships now to where you can send a couple cruise ships out a couple times a year, adult only cruise ships. I know you're Disney, but you could send a couple cruise ships out a year, adult Disney, adult cruise ships only. Um, if and I, Amy, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, right. Amy, correct me if I'm wrong. We talked about it probably every day. But there are adult areas on the cruise ships. I mean, we have 3 whole decks. It's adults. So, I mean, we have a swimming pool. There's this up on the top deck. There's this really nice pool, a really nice sunning area. Um, and then underneath that is another nice pool, really nice, and a sunning area. The sunning area there down on the second deck, on that deck isn't as big, um, but that's the deck. When you go out and around the barriers, they even have barriers. They're like sound barriers, kind of like a maze. You go through the plexiglass barriers, and it blocks out the noise, if you will. What ship did you go on, Dave? Yes, kids do take over the buffet area. No doubt. Yep, they do. Um, I actually have a. I'm going to talk about. All right, I'm going to talk about the baptismal fountain, Amy. Okay, so we were at Roy. Were we at the Dream? You were at the Dream. I've never been on the Dream, but I know one of the areas that was adult. The one floor, the one deck that was adult. It's got like a smaller pool, um, and not so much sun area, and not as many chases. It's small, but then the one above it, we had the whole quarter deck. It was just nothing but lounge chairs and a pool. That was really nice. Okay, so Amy says, "OMG." Okay, so Amy, was that Royal Court? Sorry, this is why I'm a Royal Caribbean. That was part of our discussion today with some friends of ours. Um, Dream and Fantasy are sister ships with few differences and themes. With a few differences of themes. All right, we were at the Enchanted Garden. Oh, that's right, because they had the lights that bloom. Oh, these lights were so cool. These lights, when you go in, the lights are at a certain setting, and it's just like this pod. It has these really pretty petals surrounding this light, and they're throughout the whole place. And then throughout your dinner, they start to bloom and then change color, and it's really cool. And then towards the end of the evening, the petals go back down for dinner. But they had this fountain, and I tell you, I'm going to put it out as a short. I really am. Um, they sit you at your own table. So there were 4 of us, and um, they had this beautiful fountain. It's a gorgeous fountain, and it's got water spraying and these just jets, just nice streams of water. And you go up, and it's Mickey, and he's shooting an arrow, and so and he looks really cool. And it's just a statue of him up at the top, and then the pillar comes down, and the water is coming out from the top, and it's just this nice spray of water. And we don't know where these kids came from. I mean, we found out where they came from. Um, and they are reaching into the water, and they're playing in the water. Now, this is in the middle of a formal dining room, and they're playing in the water. And then they start washing their face in the water, and they're putting the water on their arms. And then the girls start putting it on their hair, and then they start splashing each other. And there's no one, even cast members, no one saying anything to them at all. And I'm commenting because I can see them. And then I got my phone out, and I'm like, I got to get some of this footage. I do. And I did. And, and, and then after they were there for at least 5 to 8 minutes doing this, we see them coming kind of towards us, and they go behind us, and they go past us, and we see the table. And the table that they were at with their family was so far away from point A to point B. Their family could have never seen what they were doing. I'm sure if they did, they probably would have gotten in trouble, says no one. But yeah, parents were nowhere in sight. No idea where the kids went. Just go over. Yeah. So I deemed it the baptismal font. It's like maybe they're baptizing each other, just dunking their heads in, you know. So, was your favorite? What was your favorite food for dinner? Did you serve her baked? I didn't do baked Alaska. One of the cool things that I did like about dinner was if you didn't see something on a menu, you asked for it, and 9 times out of 10 they would bring it to you. Especially like my wife didn't like the salad selections, so she asked just for a regular garden salad with a certain dressing, and they brought it for her. Almost every dinner. I think it was the last 2 out of the 3 dinners. And I like sorbet, raspberry sorbet. So one of the dinners, I didn't feel like a big dessert, so I just asked for sorbet, and they brought me these 2 nice dollops of raspberry sorbet. My favorite dinner, um, gosh, they were all good. I'd have to say, like right now, what do I want? I want pork shank. I got a pork shank, and it was as good or better than the pork shank that they used to serve at Gaston's when Gaston's Tavern first opened. It was phenomenal. And I Josh asked me, he goes, "How is that?" I said, "I'll tell you in 1 second." And I took my fork and I just took it and went to push the meat away from the bone, and it literally just fell off the bone. And and I looked at him. I said, "This is going to be good." And he ordered, and after I ate mine, he ordered one after he had gotten his plate. Because, like I said, you can order as many plates. If I wanted another pork shank, I could order another one, But it was delicious. That was probably my best one, as my memory recollects. I think eating lunch from the buffet, that was fantastic. Um, Crab claws, shrimp. That was delicious. The desserts, oh my gosh, the desserts were fantastic on the buffet. Detailed, the desserts was absolutely. Oh, the creme brulee was probably one of my best desserts. I ordered 2, and they burnt the sugar on top. They were as good or better than I could make. Yeah, it was good. That was I would say that's. But again, most people say it, and um, just having friends to share that with made that much better. So, all right. So, Enchanted Garden, that was it. Baptism. If you ever get on to fantasy, go to the Enchanted Garden. If there's kids around, look at the baptismal fountain. You'll probably find somebody. I'll have to laugh about that, and I'm going to put it out as a short too. I just don't know how I'm going to do that. What I'm going to name it, but it was cool. So thank you all so much for being here. And Isaiah, I would put up what I'm going to give you, but I want it to be a surprise. So if you go back and you watch this, it's you just send me your address, say hello, and Instagram, and I'll send it out to you, and you'll really like it. And Isaiah had just started pin trading. He just started getting into it, and he was really excited. Good night, Nick. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Yep. Good night, Jamie, Amy, and Josh. Get some rest. I know you guys are beat. All right, everybody. My name is Chris the Disney Baker. Welcome to the Pin Layer. Thank you very much for being here. And we are going to see you next week. Subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification. Go back, watch some of the videos, put them on play, and just let your laptop go or your PC go. I need some watch hours, and that's a humble beg for watch time. So I am Chris Disney Baker. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Peace, love, and pixie dust hugs. And pixie dust hugs will have to do until we meet in person. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.